So today I wanted to give you guys a review of the LG G2. Now, that's the TV to the left. Now, there's a reason I'm showing the LG C1 to the right in the same context. It's because the LG C1 is cheaper. Now, this might not seem like it matters much, but in the bigger scope of things, the LG C1 is able to match and surpass the LG G2 for less money. So from a value perspective, we have to weigh that kind of thing up if you're looking to either replace your LG C1 because maybe you wanted the newer television, or if you are looking at just buying one of these two TVs to think, hey, maybe one is better than the other. It's important to note that overall, both are a tie overall if you were looking at a comparison aspect. But when we're talking about buying things, purchasing power, there can be no doubt that the LG G2 kind of falls behind in that aspect. It lacks some features that it should have, and I think that really kind of hurts it. And that OLED motion is all you get this year. You've been downgraded from last year where you had OLED Motion Pro. In addition to that, it just generally lacks user friendliness. You've got to do more clicks to do things like turn off your screen to go to the bathroom so you don't get burn-in and things like that. You have more issues in terms of trying to get high quality audio out of the TV without, again, buying a soundbar or hooking up a sound system with a bunch of wires, which means this isn't really ideal for bedrooms. And then the worst part of it all, I think, is the fact that it's an a la carte kind of business model. It's like, hey, you can buy the stand and that'll be $150 extra because we only intend for you to wall mount this TV. So they're already making this product really niche and kind of telling people like myself who have it tabletopped like it is here that you need to be penalized and pay an extra $150 because they couldn't be bothered to give you a cheap stand, which did not cost them $150 to manufacture. It's just greed for the sake of greed, and I don't support these kinds of products. And ultimately, it's one of the reasons why I don't really recommend this product. Now, again, it's not to say that the picture quality is bad. It has some of the best motion I've ever seen in my entire life, if not the best motion I've ever seen in my entire life. The pictures can be downright breathtaking and stunning. The clarity is tack sharp, and it has such a high-end clarity to it that you really feel like you're looking through this TV instead of at it. But the problems that it has in terms of you needing to have an extensive amount of technical know-how gets to the point where it's like the average user is not going to be able to do this. So I offer a service here for $5 where I can show you how to take advantage of the most the LG G2 can offer. But for the most part, it's not something everybody knows how to do. And I think out of the box, it does need a lot of work in terms of getting it to this level. Now, if you're just trying to plug and play, you can do that regardless and never touch your TV again. But there's always another level. And when you try to see what this TV is capable of and you push things to their limit, that's where I started noticing my LG C1 to the right looking a lot better and more scenes overall. Factor in it's been on sale for like basically $1,099 for the entire year now. It's pretty much the no-brainer, especially if you're somebody who wants a lot more screen for the money. You can get a bigger size and it wouldn't cost you nearly as much as a G2 would. And I think that's an important distinction to note when we're talking about this review, when we're talking about this product, because it's entering the market basically with other products, and we have to be fair about that aspect. The other thing I kind of want to point out, though, is that even though the G2 has its flaws and has its limitations, I can totally understand how people would like to see it, do good in the market or think it's a fantastic product. It does great and all, but again, it's just simply put in the shortest term I could probably tell you, it's not competitive enough on the current market that we have right now. Right now, as things sit, this is pretty much, I don't know, it's like a filler product. It's a product that sits between the LG C1 and the absolute luxury OLED that you could possibly buy on the market, and I just don't see how you would need this, especially because it doesn't have the quantum dots as to something like the Samsung S95B, which I also own, and I can safely tell you that's the next level of image quality. It does a great job holding its own and keeping up. It has some impressive moments, but honestly speaking, unless you've been wronged by Samsung, I couldn't see buying this over something like the LG or the Samsung S95B. Unless you've got a problem with buying the C series because maybe it's not rich enough for your blood, I couldn't see buying this over something like the LG C1. And again, I need to specify this isn't product justification or any of that and stuff. It's really just as honest as people can tell you, and that's really as simple as it gets. Now, if you need more one-on-one support, you need help with this product, ask in the comments down below. I'll do what I can to help you out. But essentially, I mean, it's a good product, but not for the money that they're asking. And even if it goes on sale, you're immediately always going to be better with the C1 because it does do a lot more for the money. Again, from features that they took out this year, like OLED Motion Pro, you know, being able to toggle between high, medium, and low on that. And then, of course, the usability of like turning off the picture mode a lot easier, like turning off the screen. It's an easier product. The speakers are better on the C1, and they have all the same features outside of that. So if you were thinking like this whole review is just a guy trashing the G2 because he's sour about whatever, it's literally not like that at all, because when you really think about it, the LG C1 has every single feature the LG G2 has. There isn't one thing unique to the G2 that the C1 doesn't have. Outside of under color gamut this year, you have a dynamic mode and an Adobe RGB mode, neither of which offer any real value to the product. Because again, I'm able to force BT 2020 and get something a lot better out of my C1 than what comes by default. So it's kind of a moot point at that point. Now, maybe I shouldn't say that, because LG will probably just take it out of future generations of their product, but you're hearing it now that that's why this is hitting so much stronger than what I guess it normally would by default. But that being said, though, there's always, you know, an angle to look at it. And again, the clarity is undeniable on the G2. It is truly a breathtaking TV. And I feel like it's such a conflicting feeling that it will give you, because it's like, you know that there are TVs out there that do something similar, and you could buy that, or you could buy this. But I think, again, the guy who buys the G2, you kind of know you want one. You're going to get one regardless. I'm not here to try to change your stance on it, but I am here to try to maybe give it a little perspective on what it does and doesn't offer. And more importantly, just kind of let you know, like, again, while it might be tack sharp and amazing with clarity, there's more to it than that in the TV game, and I think that's something that we should weigh up. But that being said, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below and how you feel about this whole thing. Thanks so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.